Hey guys, welcome back to another video where today we're going to learn how to fix that dreaded slice. I've been known to do it, especially when I get sloppy and tired during a round. My ball just goes off. And we have obviously recruited the best man in the business. We've got Alex Riggs all the way in Dubai on this lovely, lovely driving range in the night, and it is empty. Where is everyone?
Yeah, it's paradise out here.
So we're going to try and fix my slice that I get sometimes. You have the answers. I have the problem.
Okay, we'll fix it.
Right, do you want me to slice on demand?
Yeah, let's get a swing where you execute this sloppy swing that you've referred to.
All right, so one thing we are doing in this session, we're going to be using data. We've got a TrackMan here, but there's loads of different types of launch monitors you can use, ranging from like not that much money to thousands and thousands of pounds. So this is pretty high end, this one, but there are cheaper ones out there. So I don't usually hit off the deck.
Let's get you a tee. Let's get you a tee.
I don't know how many drives I'm expecting to hit today, but I've got enough for quite a lot. I've never actually tried to hit a slice on demand before.
You've never tried to hit one?
I've tried to avoid hitting one.
Okay.
And that kind of works in terms of hitting one. I also like to tee it up a little bit.
Yep.
Just encourages me to hit up on the ball.
Yes. Very good. Hey, I like that.
All right.
You're trying to slice this one.
I'm trying to slice this one. So usually when I slice, it's my bottom half goes through and my top half just gets lazy and doesn't bother.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. That was actually A1 slice. That was a good slice.
Really good. Really good.
Thank you.
Now, yeah, we got good slice data. You've hit down on it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about all these things that we realistically don't want to do, but these are the numbers that will constantly show up with a slice golfer. You've hit down on it. You've swung from outside in a lot.
Outside in meaning this way?
That would be inside out.
Oh.
So outside in is the golf club coming down is going to travel more this way and then across the ball in that direction.
Oh, okay. So like that.
Correct. So you're swinging more to the left of the target than you should. And the club face is pointed more to the right of the target than it should. So the club swinging left, the club face is pointing right. It's going to slice all day long.
Yeah.
Okay, so we see an incredibly high spin rate of 4,000 RPM. We see a very poor smash factor, which is your ability to create good ball speed from your club head speed. And that's what we're gonna see. So these are very normal slice numbers. Now, you've got good speed.
Yeah.
Okay, you're swinging it at 90 miles an hour.
I can swing faster than that.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will when you don't try and slice it too.
Yes.
So the point is that if we were to get you to add speed to this, it's like owning a Ferrari and putting on terrible tires and going in a race. It's like, It's just a disaster waiting to happen. So adding speed to a slice pattern just creates a bigger slice.
Which everyone wants. Everyone is so hyper-fixated on swing speed and distance, when actually we should probably cure our slice first.
Exactly. So if we can figure out how to change some of these numbers in a direction where we can, instead of hitting down, hitting up, instead of swinging left or outside in, we can swing maybe a little bit inside out. Instead of delivering the club face very open to the path, maybe deliver it square or a little bit close to the path. And even with the same club head speed, you'll see an incredible change in distance.
Yeah,
so
it's for sure. Like slice cuts so much distance off your shots.
Just that was one swing, a 90-mile-an-hour swing that's just carried 191 yards. So I can tell you that if that same club head speed had a draw to it, easily another 25 to 40 yards.
Wow, that's a lot.
So instead of spending all of your energy on trying to hit the ball harder, we got to figure out the solution to the slice first.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, get to work. What's your normal ball flight when you're hitting it well?
Straight.
Why don't you hit a normal one?
Okay,
And we'll see what we get.
Straight in the air. Setup is my biggest disaster.
Okay.
So one of my biggest problems is if I'm not hitting in the same direction as the tee box is encouraging me to, can't hit it.
And
every time.
When you can't hit it, is it a slice or what is it?
Oh, it could be anything.
Okay.
Isn't it? Anything. It really is random, actually.
That's a really nice ball flight. Okay, so you've already changed a lot of the key numbers here in the right direction. Instead of hitting down, you've hit up, okay? So instead of striking it with the club still traveling down, you've actually hit it slightly on the upswing. Instead of swinging way to left of the target, you've actually swung 1.3 degrees right of the target. So that's the in to out swing that we've said. Okay, if we need to figure out a way of getting rid of the slice, we cannot be swinging that way. We have to swing more to the right of the target. Now, one thing that you got away with there is that you did hit that ball slightly on the toe of the club.
I did, but my reason for that is if I'm going to miss hit on my driver, I like to miss hit on the toe and not the heel.
Smart.
So that's why that happened. So I actually, when I tee it up, I put it slightly towards my toe because it encourages the toey miss hit versus the heely miss hit.
And you know why that's a good thing?
No.
Why is it good to hit it on the toe instead of the heel as a miss?
Because it encourages the draw shape?
Yeah, exactly. Hitting it on the toe actually gives you a bit more draw bias. Hitting it on the heel is the exact opposite. So you can have a draw swing, heel it, and hit a fade.
Yeah, I just like it. I just feel like it feels better to hit off a toe than it does off a heel.
Yeah, you get a little bit more of the ball spinning lower. The ball runs further on the fairway.
Yeah.
So that swing, okay, again, we kind of go back to the previous comparison. That swing was 90.9, so virtually the same speed. And it has carried 209 yards.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I think we've got more in the tank.
We have.
Without having to swing harder, finding the middle of the face will improve your distance. But let's talk about some of the necessary things that players who do slice the golf ball, like you know what to feel not to slice it. If you didn't know what to feel, we'd have to have this conversation.
Yeah.
So let's talk through some of the necessary things. So if you go into your normal setup, I'll show you what a couple things that faders will typically do. Actually, sorry, start this way facing the camera for this one.
Actually, if I get too close to the ball, sometimes that causes issues. I have to remember, give myself some space.
Flip back around to where you were. I'll show you how that has relevance. Now we can talk through all this stuff. So if you're too close to the golf ball, I'll tell players all the time, this is more like a high level player conversation, but if they need to fade it, I'll have them get closer to the golf ball.
Right.
It makes the swing more up and down. It makes the swing a little bit steeper. So it makes it easier to fade the golf ball. If you want to draw it from a position that's too close, you're gonna feel like handcuffed, like your arms aren't gonna have enough room to be able to release the golf club.
Yeah.
So back away from the ball, create some room. This flattens the golf swing. This allows, if you grip it, it allows you to swing the golf club more around your body, which means like you can actually turn your body and create more of a rounded golf swing, which is going to allow you to swing it more from inside out.
Which is weird because you're telling me this now, I get it, but I kind of naturally was like, okay, if I want to draw it, make sure I give myself more space.
Yes.
And then when I get close, I always fade it. I'm like, faded it again because I got too close.
Yeah, for sure. And you might also hit it out of the heel if you're too close, right? So that's another reason to stand further away. So if you get into that stance again, your normal position where you feel like you have adequate room, the two big tasks that I'd give you, one is that you got to ignore where that target is and feel like I'm your target. Feel like your target's more rightward of what you're used to.
Yeah.
Okay? That'll help you in a couple ways. Like in one way, it'll help you get a bit more turn into your backswing. So if your objective is to swing in my direction, it's logical to feel like you could get yourself turned back here further, which a lot of slicers would never get enough turn in their backswing. Okay?
What would you say for someone who doesn't have that much flexibility to get there?
So I find most golfers have more flexibility than they think.
They're just not turning in the right way.
They're not using enough joints. So they're trying to get all of their mobility from just half of their body. So a lot of times the golfer who claims they're very stiff or they don't have enough flexibility, they're doing all of their work with their trunk. So if I didn't allow you to use your ankles, knees, or hips, the backswing would feel very difficult. Yeah. Right? If you're allowed to use the whole lower body, getting to this point where that left shoulder, that lead shoulder can get under the chin, it's a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
Like with the golfer who maybe is a bit more sedentary and doesn't have the mobility, the easiest hack is that lead heel.
You do see some players, like the older players, who do that.
Yeah, absolutely. If you struggle to turn, I call this the rotational anchor. Okay, if you keep the heel down, that's a difficult thing for most players to be able to turn. As soon as you let the heel come up, you can get another 10, 15 degrees of turn. And that's, again, if we're trying to swing more out to the right, we have to turn back enough. Okay, so getting enough of that backswing turn, focusing on swinging right of your target. The last piece comes down to the club face. It has to deliver square to closed. It cannot deliver to open. So the slicer, if you go back into a setup, the player who's hit a slice their whole life has gotten used to a delivery strategy, if you grip it, where the club's traveled from outside in, sure, okay? But the club's also been in an open position. And that's just what they've gotten used to. So for that player who now might learn how to deliver the golf club shallower, what they're probably gonna do is deliver it shallow, but leave the face like that. Because they're so used to leaving it open.
Yeah.
So the golfer that has never hit a draw before, they have to learn what it feels like to be able to release the golf club. And a lot of the times it needs to feel like that extreme. They need to feel like their glove hand is turning down to the ground, or the face is turning down to the ground, such that it doesn't come through open. So that, I'll get comments like, oh, there's a lot of arms in that swing. There's a lot of wrists to actually square that up. But the golfer who's been the notorious fader, they need that. They need that extreme feeling.
So one thing I did, so I obviously used to slice all the time. It was like my hobby. And I just think about trying to get this toe of the club onto the ball and get that hitting the ball first before anything else. Like before my shaft, before my hand, everything. That is my goal. I want to hit the toe of that on the ball before anything. Yeah,
I've gone to the extreme of drawing in a line, and then if you do the same thing, I've told players, okay, there's a race here between the toe and the heel, right? The toe has to win the race, has to. And you know, you have to, if you're a golfer who's slicing the golf ball, you have to hit hooks to find your solution. Like a hook is a success for a golfer who's been slicing it. Because that hook just means that you've actually closed the face more than you should, which is again, that's a hugely important thing to learn.
Yeah, I like the idea of the race, except when I do it, I think of racing between this and my hands, just because I don't think I could understand the feet that's too close.
Yeah.
So I need something closer to my body, and the race of that getting round.
Yes.
Just really, really helped me.
That's your release. Yeah, exactly. So there's a position that I'll get a lot of players into if you grip the golf club, is I'll put them into a position in a follow through where I exaggerate how much wrist release they have. Like I'll get the face to point down. I'll have the club well right of where it would need to be. Like that's probably a position that feels very foreign to you. And to a slicer, again, slicers, just so we know, slicers are gonna be more kind of over here at that point. So for them to feel this position, that's Mars to them.
Yeah.
Never been there. But in going from here, and then I'd say, okay, now rewind back to the top of the swing and show me that position again, get back to that same position. If you do that a dozen times and then go hit a golf ball, I'll put all the money in the world that you're not hitting it over there. You'll probably hit it way over there, but again, that's a success.
Yeah, it's good to feel a hook. It's good to hit hooks and know what that feels like, and then kind of find something in between. Yeah,
exactly. You've got to hit a few shots that turn left, and then you'll start to tame it or taper it back.
Yeah.
But that's the first discovery that they have to find.
Yeah, it's hard. Like I've tried this drill loads and loads of times, and every time I'm getting that little bit better. You can't expect to, what is it, build Rome in a night? That's not the saying.
They didn't build Rome in a day?
Something like that. But it's all about those like little tiny improvements. So the more you do it, the more you get better feel, you know how to control the ball, and then you start talking like a golfer.
Exactly. Why don't you try that extreme feeling, and we'll see what kind of numbers we get.
Do you want me to hook it?
I want you to hook it like crazy.
Okay.
Okay, so if you grip it again, I want you, to the best of your ability, to try and get to that position right there.
Okay.
As crazy as that feels, try and get there.
Okay, we're gonna hook this.
Amazing.
That was a very low hook. I played down on that one.
Now, your club head speed jumped to 97 miles an hour.
Wow.
Your ball speed jumped to 140 miles an hour.
Wow.
Okay, so your smash factor jumped up. So all of the ball speed efficiency numbers went up. And that's because it's very efficient to deliver a closed club face in terms of transferring speed. It's very inefficient to deliver an open club face, which is what a slice is. Right?
And I didn't feel like I hit that any harder.
No. But you added a lot more whip in the release, which is why the club head speed jumped up. And that ball was, I know the club face was really shut, which is why it's not the result that you'd want on the golf course, but for a slicer, I'd be jumping for joy at that point.
But it's just good to feel it. Like I can't describe how good it is to feel like, oh, that's what a hook feels like, because you just never do it as a slicer.
Yeah, it's like you call a shot in snooker that you didn't think you could hit. You get this sense of like, whoa, I did that, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, being able to call your shots in golf is a really cool thing. And if all you've ever seen is that dreaded slice, that hook is a great thing. So let's let's now try and tame that. So still feel like you have some of that release in your movement. Oh, sorry.
I just like it only because I have a tendency to hit down on it.
Yeah, absolutely. For
He's
sure.
just agreeing with me at this point. He's like, whatever works for you,
all
girls.
for it, all for it. Ooh, we're gonna love that one. Okay.
That felt to me touch Healy, actually. Wasn't quite center face, just a bit there.
It was slightly.
Healy.
Yeah, just a fraction Healy.
However, if you wanted to know, the Stealth 2 is actually got its sweet spot slightly Healy.
There we go.
So it's quite good.
You're just finding the sweet spot. So you've hit up on it really well. You've delivered the club face closed to the path, which is what the objective is. Again, the slicer needs to learn the feeling of delivering a closed face to path, which means if you do it too much, the ball's gonna go left.
Yeah.
If you don't do it enough, the ball's gonna go right. So we have to be really exaggerating that. So great club head speed, really good ball speed, spin rate's kind of in our wheelhouse, and that smash factor at 1.46. Again, the heel hit is gonna tone that down a little bit. If that was in the middle, that's probably a 1.5. So that's, you see the carry jump?
Yeah.
The 220. So again, if that's out of the center, you're probably thinking 230, 235 carry, which that's really good for that club head speed.
There we go, efficient. I want to hit another one.
Do it, do it. I'll let you choose your tee height.
Okay.
Do you like broken tees? I think we can afford another tee. This is Dubai after all.
I just think the ball was sitting on it really weird. All right, nice. Okay, going for a big one. See, that was a slight cut for me. That's where I'm like, I don't like those ones. I didn't quite bring it round enough.
Let's see why it was a fade. I'd still say it must have been slightly heeled.
Yeah, that's it. I didn't bring the club head round.
Yeah, so that was, you did most of what you needed to do. You hit up on it, you swung from inside out. The club face was very square, the path was slightly from the inside out. So usually that would create a draw.
Yeah.
But again, if we've hit it slightly out of the heel, it counters that draw.
See, that I would say is my most common miss. It's like that slight cut.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if you've got a narrow fairway and you can't really afford to do that, I do it.
Yeah, well that, in the end, it's not a bad golf shot.
Yeah.
Probably on the right side of the fairway.
In a bunker, usually.
But all in all, pretty good transfer, 1.49 smash, so it couldn't have been that much off center, and 220 carry. So yeah, good shot all in all.
I'm gonna hit a really big, I don't know why.
Let's see like a 20-yard draw.
A 20-yard draw. Oh, that was not a 20-yard draw. So when I hit those shots, it's because when I set up, see, I know all the things that I'm really doing wrong. I don't put weight back here. I just feel very straight like an iron.
Yeah.
And so when I'm hitting it, it just goes more like an iron.
Usually when someone hits one of those like extreme poor shots, like it's way outside their norm, it's usually setup or focus related.
Yeah.
Their head could be in the clouds. They could be thinking about things that aren't relevant to what they're trying to do.
That sounds quite like me.
Butterflies, butterflies. Oh, you're gonna love that.
Yeah, that was nice.
That's the perfect ball flight. Amazing.
It's good in the night sky as well.
So you've hit up. Again, your feeling of being more tilted back to your right has helped you to hit up on the golf ball.
Yeah.
You've swung in to out. So you've swung to the right of the target really well. You've delivered a slightly closed face to path, right?
Yeah.
So that's creating that draw. It's giving you great ball speed. It's giving you a really good spin rate of 2,300. So if anything on the low side.
Yeah,
so
it
that
looked
ball,
quite low, yeah.
It's gonna just run down the fairway. Really high smash, 1.49. Okay, 221 carry, 254 total. So
That's
great
nice.
drive. Great
That's quite
drive.
a good one. I can hit, wait, I need to get that 94 up. I just want to hit a bit.
The club head speed?
Yeah.
What have you actually been able to see that at? Have you been closer to 100?
Maybe. If I go to the gym before and then hit loads of balls, I can get it up a lot.
Okay, okay.
But I've not done any of the above. I'm just out here.
If the nervous system is really firing.
Yeah. And then it's like, yeah, pump.
Yeah.
Oh, Scotty. See, no, that's not my friend.
No, we liked the one before a lot more than that one.
Yeah, we did.
Did you try to hit that one harder?
Yeah.
You didn't swing it any faster.
Oh, it felt faster. It just shows, doesn't it? You try and hit it harder
exactly it.
and it just cuts.
This is exactly it. A lot of times I find that when people, they get to a point at which maybe they're 80, 85% of like full effort, and they get to their max club head speed, and then they give it more effort and get no more club head speed, but deliver the golf club worse. If we are chasing club head speed, you have to swing it as hard as you can to get a higher club head speed. That's how we train it. But if you're playing,
you can't be doing that.
Shouldn't be doing that, because you're gonna see that you get those extreme misses. That wasn't an extreme miss, but it wasn't as quality of a shot as the one before it. So if the one before it was a much better shot with less effort, which one do you think you can repeat?
Yeah, it's better, isn't it? It's easily said, but how do you stop people from wanting it? There's something about trying to hit it really hard that feels so good.
Yeah, you have to link it to your pre-shot routine.
Yeah.
So some people need to walk in slower. Some people need to use breathing techniques to calm down. You have to listen to the right music in the cart. You got to find some sort of a strategy to just like get you to relax more. Because if you're too amped up, again, there's a time and a place for that. If you're speed training, go crazy. But if you're playing and you're trying to hit a tight fairway, it's not going to help you.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about golf is there's actually lots of different time and places to practice and learn different things. And then when you go to the course, you have to accept all of what you currently have as a whole to play with.
Yeah, there's not that many absolutes in golf. You know, people will ask questions and it's like, it depends.
Yeah.
Depends on this situation or that situation. So it's kind of understanding cause and effect, and you can find your goal.
So as like a quick summary, if you're trying to fix your slice or hit less slices, what's the best drill is to?
I would say that the biggest thing is you got to fix the face first. And you fix the face, if you grip it again, you're gonna fix the face by really getting used to the feeling of releasing the golf club more than you ever have before. If you fix this face position, it's a lot easier to trust yourself to also swing it more out to the right as well. Like they work together. If the face is constantly open, it's tough to trust yourself to swing it to the right.
Yeah.
So you solve the biggest issue, which is the face, because the face contributes to 85% of the ball's start direction. If we solve that, it's easy to solve the path. And once you have that, at least you have the ball turning left.
Amazing. Well, guys, I hope this video has helped you. Alex, thank you so much for everything today. Guys, as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Don't forget to go follow Alex. He's also on... He's not on YouTube. I keep saying he's on YouTube. You should get on YouTube. It's on YouTube now. Instagram, you're on Skillist.
Yeah.
Are you anywhere else? TikTok?
No, that's even less than YouTube.
He's like, what is TikTok? I will put all of his details down below. Guys, thank you so much, and we'll catch up with you very soon. Bye.